saying my location.
Yeah. These people had your location.
I see someone come in and say only know Nuki only knows Stasia. She doesn't know Ariana, Sanaya, or Flat. No.
You know what case I want to see? Remember,
I know of Ariana from Facebook,
remember the boy
but I don't know
who
Ariana.
stabbed his baby mama in the head? I ain't never seen
I
it.
don't know
They had 6
Sanaya.
kids.
So
She was leaving
why?
when the kids was on vacation with her mom.
So why would
and he
Blue?
ended up
Someone said,
taking
why
her
would
life.
Blue call you
Yes.
to ask to tell you the Mahogany's mission if you never heard of it?
Hold on.
Exactly. Literally. Exactly. That night, Vito had went live. He was talking about a girl was missing. She called me. She said, Mahogany missing. I'm like, who was Mahogany? And that's when she was saying that, huh?
What night was it?
That Saturday night, she called me.
Okay, so this is Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night she calls you and says what?
Mahogany's missing. But see, I wasn't on Facebook during the time. So she had told me that they called her from his live saying that she was missing. And I'm like, who is Mahogany? And she was telling me, they was cool. And that's when, it went from there.
And that was it. Then you just found out she passed.
She called me back and, said that she was dead.
So what did she tell you happened Saturday night? She was just missing and that was it?
Yeah, she was just like, she was missing.
And she didn't give you no information about it? No names?
No, she just like, she was missing and I don't know who she would have been with. I wonder where she went. This ain't like her. But see, again, me not knowing who she was, I'm not going to say I wasn't paying any attention, but I really wasn't paying any attention because I'm like, I don't know her. And then the next thing I know, I get the phone call again. She was crying. She's saying she's deceased. And then that's when, the article came out saying that they found her deceased. And she was like, I want her alive. And I'm like, okay.
They said she wasn't missing until Sunday though.
Now you see why I said if I wasn't watching, your platform, because I've seen a lot of people saying, they said she wasn't missing till Sunday because she kept saying, Saturday. She found out Saturday. She said that multiple times. That's when she called me and said she was missing Saturday.
This whole thing is just so fucking weird.
Somebody said, I don't understand why Blue would call Nuki if she didn't know or had ever heard. Because I was the person that talked to her. I considered her a sister. We were sisters. Blue called me about everything. She called me about relationship problems. She called me about family problems. She called me about everything. Hell, even mess on Facebook, she called me about it. That's just how the conversation was. I only know the things that Blue was telling me, and I was, again, believing her.
Interesting. So, where Blue live at? Like, is Blue with her parents, or what she got going on? Couch surfing?
I was like, 1 minute Blue here, 1 minute Blue there, 1 minute Blue here, 1 minute Blue there. It was never, honestly, no known location that she was at. Every time I talked to her, she was either going to go somewhere, go to this person's house, or she was at this person's house. I can't even say in 3 days in a row she was in the same place.
Alexa, play the People's Court theme.
So I kind of asked you this question last night, and you kind of never gave me a direct answer. So I'm going to ask you again. What do you know of Blue to be in any situation like this? Like, have you known her to be mixed up in some unaliving, some robberies?
Unalivings, no. Robberies, yeah.
Okay. And there was a situation that took place that you gave me some information about. And that was the day Blue, Ace, and Tasia caught a case. Tell me about this case.
Tasia
No, I don't
was
think
supposed
Blue
to
was
be
there.
fighting another female.
What short girl with me in Vegas?
Blue, Ace, they all got in the car. From
Alexa,
that standpoint,
play the People's Court theme song.
they said Blue, up out the window. So I shoot. Tasia acted like she didn't know, but Blue said Tasia told her to. But the whole point of that was it was supposed to be a fight. Tasia was supposed to fight another girl.
Play the People's
Blue
Court theme song.
was just there.
And this case is still an ongoing case, right?
Yes.
And this case is going to land somebody potentially in prison.
Wow, what's wrong? What's going on?
Yes, because the girl did press charges.
Why you want to know them?
My understanding. Because she kept saying, I got pending charges. I got pending charges.
And this was firing into someone's home, right?
If I'm not mistaken, I don't want to be, wrong, but it was either a car or a home.
And were there children present in this?
That I knew of, yes.
I can't do this
so
mirror
that's why
thing,
I asked you. So this was a serious case.
Oh, my show was starting 5 minutes,
this
y'all.
Case was so you know firsthand that Blue shot into this car or residence.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not trying to make her sound weak or anything like that, but I have never known Blue to be a shooter. But I was not surprised when it was Tasia told me to. Because like I was saying on the live, you would do anything this girl constantly crosses you out. You keep showing her love, So I wouldn't be surprised if Tasia told her to shoot, but that I know of, she did shoot.
But she's talking about another incident.
I think if I'm not mistaken, they did blame it on Blue. Blue saying that she did. She was telling people that she didn't do it, and she was telling certain people she did do it.
So Ace and Tasia were blaming Blue.
Exactly. But the thing about it is,
how does she know they were blaming her?
I was gonna say, but the thing about it is, Tasia was still in jail. Blue was so-called bonded out that same situation.
So what did end up happening with it? Like, did her and Tasia fall out about that situation, or was they still cool, or what was going on out there?
They were still cool.
Was Tasia telling her to take the charge?
Now that I can't answer because I don't know. She never told me, with Tasia, they was all on the case. That was Blue was telling me. But she was saying that night Tasia was still locked up. She was trying to bond her out and everything else. But I was
How do I feel about Blue now? I still don't think Blue was at the murder. She just talking about
why aren't you in jail?
They're talking about a case that Blue got with Ace and Tasia. We already knew about the case she got with Ace and Tasia.
And it was all confusing.
I still don't think Blue was at the murder at all. Yeah. This ain't what they're talking about the night of the case. They're talking about
another thing. And that was another thing that kind of bothered me. It was the fact that she kept saying,
unless I missed something.
We all on the same case together. We all on the same case together. But Blue was the only person that was out. She so-called was raising money just to blame, just to get her out. But I didn't understand if Blue was the shooter.
No.
But once I started to actually ask her questions, she changed the subject, and I ain't never really go back to it.
I don't think nobody there knew that girl was gonna die that day. You got to remember.
But I do got her in your text messages saying that Tasia told her to shoot it.
Exactly.
So
Tor, you?
Yeah, she
Tor
go. She out
I
of
was
here
gonna say,
on
you
that
cut
one.
AC on for me.
She was telling, like I said
When you go
before,
upstairs,
she
it's
was
right in
telling
the
certain
hallway.
people she didn't do it.
I know.
She was telling certain
And
people
it's all
she
you gotta
did
do is turn the switch on the right, just turn it on cool. I love you.
Where is her family?
Who family Blue?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta change phones on y'all.
The only person that I know for that, that she had communication with was her mama and her sister. But other than that, everybody else,
We switching
I'm not
phones.
gonna say they aren't around because I don't know, but they weren't around for us to be talking every single day. And I never, well, I'm with my cousin or I'm with such and such. That wouldn't get there at all. So I'm not gonna say she ain't had no family, but to me, she ain't had no family.
Alexa, turn the music off.
So did you get any more calls after last night about this?
Alexa, turn on the People's Court theme song.
When you sent me the link, I sent you a screenshot of what I had just received, and they was telling me to stop talking to you. And they was like, you didn't.
All right, y'all, the show is about to start. Everybody come in. Make sure y'all gift me during the show. The show starts in 1 minute. So this is my breaking news show with BIGO. So Alexa, turn the volume up to 7. Alexa, hi, everyone. Everyone, welcome to BIGO Breaking News with none other than EmpressParis, okay? I'm happy to be here today to break some news with you guys. And the news that we're breaking today is basically Mahogany Jackson updates, all right? I know we all understand that this young lady, Mahogany, she was murdered, okay, on February 25th, and her body was found on February the 26th at around 2 a.m. in the morning. And there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of things still going around on who may know who. Even though they arrested 8 individuals, are those the 8 individuals that only should be arrested? They're still throwing names around like a Darius, this young lady named Nuki. They're throwing the names around like Blue. But what we do understand is, out there in Alabama, okay, Birmingham, Alabama, where this all took place, looks like, Chief Thurman and the other people are actually pulling together, and they've arrested who they've arrested, okay? But still, the streets are talking. The YouTubers are talking. The BIGO comments are talking. Everybody's still talking that out there in Birmingham, there should be more arrests. They're talking about this young lady, Nuki. They're talking about Blue. They're talking about Vito. All these things. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go back into time a little bit, and we're going to talk about the case and how it has unfolded based on what we understand. All right. So what we know now, Mahogany Jackson was 20 years old. She lived between Jasper, Alabama, as well as Birmingham, Alabama, with her mom until she became homeless. What we do understand is that Mahogany did love her mom, and she sent her mom a loving text message around the afternoon of December 26th saying, "Mom, I love you. You are my queen. I inspire to be like you. You've molded me into this beautiful young lady." And what we're understanding based on an interview that was held by another young man with a neighbor by the name of Jessica is claiming that the reason why Mahogany wrote that message one day after Christmas is because Mahogany and her mom allegedly got into a fight. And Mahogany's mom basically was like, once we call 911 based on the living situation, the type of public assisted housing we're living in, once you call 911, basically we have to now be evicted out because there should be no domestic violence when it comes down to living in this type of supplemental housing. So what I understand is Mahogany moved from Jasper to Birmingham, okay? And while she's out there, she did move back and forth. And also, before I forget this, Mahogany also had a 3-year-old daughter, you guys, that from my understanding, her mom took care of. This young lady did not go, this baby did not go to Birmingham with her mother, but stayed back in Jasper with the grandmother. In any event, Mahogany is outside doing what she do, hanging with friends, giving a lot of energy, going on live. And the friends that we have grown to know since February the 25th, these young folks seem to be people that a little aggressive. They seem to be young folk that may be in their own little game, their own little bubble. And they do a lot of gunplay. They do a lot of he say, she say, a lot of drama, a lot of gunplay, a lot of, those things. And from what we understand, Mahogany was warned on several occasions from her mother, as well as from the neighbor. The crew you rolling with, Mahogany, is not the crew that we approve of. These people really don't mean you any good. These people really ain't your friends. And I don't see a safe haven for you with this group of girls and guys. But from what we understand, Mahogany continued to ignore those cries and ignore, the warnings that was being presented to her and relinquished to her from her mother and her neighbor. And Mahogany continued to roll and hang out with her friends. Now, it's still a lot of loopholes and a lot of space in between whether or not she was in Jasper, did she got put out from her mom, or did she have her own apartment in Birmingham and then she was evicted from there. But what we do understand is at some point, Mahogany had some friends. Maybe this young girl, Nuki. She also hung out with the young lady, Blue, that we interviewed previously. And she kept in contact with Blue. And Blue also kept in contact with Ariana. What we understand from Blue is Blue cut ties with Tasia and this person and that person only because the relationship wasn't relationshiping. The energy wasn't there anymore. It was differences. And it seems like Tasia, to me, was the ringleader. Always just basically having fast turnover with friends. Now, most of the people that's involved that we haven't named so far is Tasia Lewis. She's 26. We have Sanaya. We have Jeremy, which is 18. We have Francis Harris, which is 25. We have Blair, which is 24. We also have Giovanni. And if I forgot anyone, please excuse me, but there's 8 people that are now arrested right now and being held out in Jefferson County Jail due to what took place on the 25th. Now, do you want to know what took place on 25th? Let's talk about it. At some point between the 24th and the 25th of February, Mahogany willingly went over to hang out with friends. Tasia, Brandon Pope, and all of them at an apartment complex. Now, the apartment complex that we do know that she was beaten at and also allegedly raped and sodomized was Serenity Apartments. There, it's alleged that Mahogany had previously stolen a gun from another gangbanger. And notice I said allegedly, because the facts are still unraveling. Once she stole this gun from this gang member, they're saying that Mahogany was carrying that gun around and along with a wad of money in her purse on that day. So when she gets to Tasia's apartment, and what I understand, she was at Tasia's apartment at some point and she was at Brandon Pope's apartment. Because how the story is being told, she was in one place, they moved her from the next, they stripped her nude, they handcuffed her, they had her outside beating her, and then left her at a dump site. So there may be 2 apartments involved in all of this. It could be Brandon Pope's apartment as well as Tasia Lewis's apartment. In any event, she shows up. Well, I can't say whether or not they were gang members, Tracy, but what I'm going to say is she rolled with this crew. They carried guns. They were all young folk that carried guns and did things and fought. And in a group, they fought, did things. They did the most. They did the most. And so we can call it what we can call it. They were in a group that did the most. Okay, so apparently and allegedly, Mahogany stole a gun from another gang member. And Once she stole that gun, she was carrying that gun around, and she happened to come over to the apartment complex of either Brandon Pope first or Tasia Lewis. She gets there and they all vibe. Okay? Now, and I didn't get offended by a legit question because that is a legit question. So I answered it to the best of my ability. But excuse me if I got offended. Now, while she was there, somebody, okay, love you 12. Somebody, allegedly Tasia, went into Mahogany's purse and took the gun and a wad of money out. Now, Mahogany starts asking questions. Where's my money? Where's the gun that was in my purse? Mahogany then takes the gun from an 18-year-old that was there. His name is Jeremy. Jeremy was present as well. And she takes the gun from Jeremy, and this is police reports that we're talking about. She takes the gun from Jeremy, points it at Brandon Pope, allegedly, and asks him, do you have my money? Do you have the gun? Brandon says no. So what she then does, she makes him strip so that she can see whether or not he stole the gun and the money out of her purse. Once she strips Brandon Pope, he's very upset. He's very upset and embarrassed. And he says to Ace, oh, we about to kill this bitch or something got to happen to her. And at that time, based on police reports, this I'm only telling you guys on things that I've read from District Attorney Carr, and based on the hearing that was held on the 13th, that's when the tables start to shift. And it wasn't on Mahogany's behalf. After that, once Brandon made that announcement, a lot of the young ladies started antagonizing Mahogany, getting into her face, questioning her about this, checking her for he said, she said. Slaps began to happen. We can see Ariana on a video slapping Mahogany. Punches start. We see Sanaya punching her. Giovanni's punching her. Okay, after that, we see her thrown to the ground by Sanaya. She's still fully clothed at that time. Okay. At some point, she was stripped nude, removed from Brandon Pope's apartment to Tasia's, handcuffed, and they started, allegedly, based on police reports, sexually assaulting Mahogany. Now, let's slow down, okay? Mahogany is 20 years old. She has a 3-year-old daughter. She has a mother that seemingly loves her. What is a young girl that's 20 years old doing, allegedly stealing guns from other gang members and making people strip search at gunpoint? Like, what is going on? This is a 20-year-old young lady with a baby, with her 3-year-old. So that's a question, like, what's happening with this generation? What's making this generation a bit more intense, a bit more in your face, a bit more aggressive? It's interesting, okay? Again, Mahogany was warned several times on several occasions, stay away from that crew. Now I'm gonna back it up a little bit. Mahogany had a conversation at one point with the young lady Blue that we interviewed last week. And the reason why we know that is because Blue said that she did. Blue said that Mahogany called her and it was a 3-way phone call. Blue also gave us insight that Ariana was on that call as well. Now, it's still some gray area with that. I don't know if Ariana was on one call, one phone, and Mahogany was on another, or was they on a 3-way call together, or even if did Mahogany know Ariana was on that call. I don't know. But at some point, Mahogany told Blue, watch your back because Tasia Lewis and Francis Harris is out to get you. Okay? They're out to get you based on another case that they got going on. So now this case that is going on between Tasia and Francis, aka Ace, which is allegedly the person that shot her in the back of the head. You're welcome. It involves a shooting. It involves a young lady, some fighting, and a shooting. And apparently, this young lady that they assaulted, they have to go to court now for this young lady because she's pressing charges. So that's the case dealing with Tasia, Ace, and Blue. Put that case over there for a second. Now let's get back to the three-way call. The question is, was Mahogany aware that Ariana was on a three-way call? Also, when we look at the videos that day of Ariana slapping Mahogany first, Ariana does mention Blue's name. It's a split second. She says, I'm not Blue. I'm not Blue. And then that urges everyone, who is Blue? Who is Blue? Now, one thing we can say, Blue was not present when they started beating her, stripping her down, and doing all these strange things to her. Blue was not present at all. Now, because in the videos, we're able to see
Do the 30-day hourglass giver exercise.
we're able to see just about every single person in the videos that are hitting her. When you watch the videos, if you guys have ever seen the video, and I keep saying video because while they were beating her, stripping her naked, had her handcuffed and assaulting her sexually, a lot of it is on video. They took out their phones and recorded it. And that's why I continue to mention the exhibit of the videos. If you watch the videos, you can see Jeremy at one point in the videos. You can see Ace. You can see Brandon's big stocky body standing next to Ariana. You can see Ariana. You can see Sanaya. You can even see Giovanni. I wasn't able to see Tasia. You can see Francis. So these young people are present in the videos on that said day. So let's talk about that said day again. Mahogany shows up to hang out with her friends. They're kicking the breeze. They're chilling. Who went in Mahogany's purse and stole that gun? Who went in Mahogany's purse and took out the gun and the money? That question is still unanswered. And allegedly, we assume it was Tasia. Some people say Francis. But let me tell you guys something about this. A lot of you guys don't know that Francis and Tasia had fallen out. Francis and Tasia wasn't even friends for a while because, allegedly, Francis had stolen a gun from Tasia's brother and they had fallen out. And allegedly, the case that involves Tasia, Francis, and Blue, allegedly, Tasia has been snitching and switching and flipping the strip on Francis, and Francis is unaware. There's a lot going on. There's so much going on, you guys. And in order for me to attach everyone, I'm going to do it as best I can. Now, Tasia, another fun fact, had 4 kids. One of her children passed away. And out of all of her children, allegedly, Tasia does not have custody of none of them. Sanaya allegedly has 1 daughter. And Sanaya just started coming around the crew. Sanaya's only been hanging out with Tasia now for about 3 months. And not only that, allegedly, Sanaya is cousins with Ariana. But you want to know another fact, too, that we picked up? Tasia was dating Ariana. Ariana is the 8th person that was arrested in this murder case. And another gag, Tasia allegedly was dating Francis as well. And another gag, allegedly, Tasia also have inside intel on a police officer because allegedly she was dating she was dating a police officer. This is too much, Detective Nate, but I'm glad you're here. Now, Sanaya allegedly was dating Blair Green. So let's talk about Blair Green because I stopped when they started sexually assaulting her. Blair Green allegedly is the first person that they forced Mahogany to put her mouth on his genital. It's said that once they pushed her head down there, they held her head down there and told her that make him feel good. It better feel good. And if it doesn't, we're going to beat you. Blair also has an apartment with Brandon Pope. They are roommates, allegedly. Okay? So Brandon was the first person that they forced her to put her mouth on. Not only that, to get more grotesque and more disgusting, they're forcing her to do this to the guy. Then these women pretty much said, oh, we're next. We're in line. You're going to have to put your mouth on us as well. And they continue to force her to put her mouth on men and women throughout all those hours, throughout that ordeal, holding her head down. And if she didn't do it properly, they continue to beat her with fists, slaps, and guns while naked and while in handcuffs. In some of the videos, you can hear Mahogany saying, all right, I give up. Y'all done beat me. You done did everything to me. Just let me go. I give up. Y'all done dragged me. I'm broken. You can hear her saying, oh my God. Even in one of the videos, I think I heard her say, not my butt, man, not my butt. Now, the videos are probably not accessible to a lot of you guys anymore. I got lucky because someone tagged me in something when it first happened, and I was able to take some of the videos and piece them to basically what the individual was talking about. Now, let's talk about these videos and why a lot of us are able to obtain them. This is my question. If these people that did all this horrific stuff to her videotaped, how are these videos surfacing? Now, people have a lot of speculation on that. There are people that got FaceTime calls that day that was able to record from screens. They FaceTime friends and saying, you want to come over? You want a piece of this? Not only that, there are people that got text messages of the videos. So there's people out there that knew that she was being beaten while naked and handcuffed and being raped because they're watching it on FaceTime and not one person called a 911 call. You know why? It's not reported. We haven't seen it reported. So it's a thing to want to be down and want to be in the in crowd. But I have a question to you guys. What would your son or daughter do? If you have children that are 20, 21, 25, 26, 24, 22, what would they do? Will your child allow a crew, be with a crew where they're gang banging or gang raping a young lady? Would your child say, I'm not a part of this, I'm out? Would they leave and call 911? Would they go and leave and report it? Or would they stay there and indulge? And I think a big issue in our world today is we got to raise more leaders and not followers, number one. And we have to also make our children understand that you can't do evil, sadistic things to people and expect to get away and expect to be free. You shouldn't want to do something so evil and sadistic to somebody and want to get away. You would want to be a outstanding, upstanding citizen that goes off to school, like mama say. If you go to college, then that's fine. Or get a job, like your mom would say. Okay? And but some of us just don't listen. And in this case, we have a clear understanding that Mahogany was someone that received an update from her mom. She received warnings from her mom. She received don't do that, don't go there from her mom. And allegedly, everyone, allegedly, she had a fight with her mom. And not a mom, leave me alone, I'm smart. Allegedly, a physical altercation with her mother. Allegedly. So let's think about it. There are daughters that fight their moms. There are sons that fight their mother. There are sons that fight their fathers. There are children that fight their mothers. That does exist. Now, whether or not Mahogany was one of those girls, I can't say. I cannot say that. But it's alleged, based on an interview her neighbor Jessica had on YouTube, that Mahogany had fought her mom and her mom called 911. And absolutely, Bunny, there are parents that fight their kids. Let's talk about it. That's true. But it's a one thing to fight your child and chastise your child. Because God did say, if you spare the rod, you will spoil the child. It's just going to be a long road for everybody involved. There are 8 people now that are actually currently incarcerated. Whether or not they have a bond, I don't know. But the charges do range from felony murder, sodomy, rape, first degree murder, second degree murder, and sodomy and rape. And I haven't seen any kidnapping charges being held against their will or anything like that. And I don't know what the state and how the state is looking at it, because Mahogany did drive over, but she did ask to leave in a lot of those videos as well. And when someone wants to leave and go and you continue to hold them against their will, that's a charge as well. That's a charge as well. So this case is going to be something big, and a lot of the individuals are now, all of them, their cases are now being handed over to the grand jury, because what we noticed last month, that a lot of the charges are being reduced and some of the charges are being dropped. Some of the girls that had first degree felony murder or first degree sodomy and rape are now being reduced to second degree. Some that had first degree are now being reduced to third degree. And then there's some small charges that are actually being dropped. So we really need to focus on how we're going to be able to rally up around, do some petitions, and get the word out that the justice system got to do justice in this case. Okay. And we'll get into that real. If I got to go back and look at her anybody that I interviewed stories to understand what they were talking about and what they were doing real for, send me the first time. Send it to me so we can get into it and we can understand what's going on. Okay, so anyway, that's the ones that are testifying for less charge. Yep. So that's what they're saying. People are testifying and telling. But my question is, why do we need you to testify and tell when we have a whole lot of video footage? We have a lot of video footage, in real time. So why are we testifying? Why are we giving plea deals? Why are we reducing charges? I say charge them all across the board. They were all present. We can clearly see this girl is nude. We can see that she's handcuffed. We can see that she's been raped, and they beat her so bad. One video I just saw Tasia sitting on top of her, just beating her so badly. And but videos can be witnesses as well. Videos can actually be witnesses. Video footage can be witnesses. You can have that witness talk through it, but even though they're witnesses, none of them need a plea. None of them need to be reduced. You can be a witness because you were present, but I need you to just witness this video. Talk me through this video, but we're not giving you no deals. And that's on that. All right, so allegedly Mahogany fought her mom. Allegedly Mahogany was put out of her mom's house and put into another apartment. She had to move out to Birmingham. So again, this timeline for me is a little interesting. It's a little because they're trying to say Mahogany was only out in Birmingham for 3 days when this happened. I agree, Milia. They all need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I totally agree. Yesterday, Sanaya and Blair had court. Instead of them going to court, they waived their hearing yesterday. And their case is just going straight to the jury. They didn't want to be on news anymore. They didn't want to go in front of the judge and look at videos and pictures of what. I don't know if they have the same attorney, but for both of them to waive their hearing yesterday is unusual for me. So I feel as though they may have an identical counsel, or the two counsel that's representing each one of them are in cahoots or having conversation with each other. They were so big, they were so bad, they were being followers. Tasia said, do this, they did it. Tasia said, jump, they did it. So allegedly one of the girls got beat up, Detective Nay, but we can't prove that as well because the picture that we saw of Sanaya all swollen and big, our question was if she got beat up in jail, how could we have that photo so fast? So we can't prove that either. That's speculation. And it don't even look like she's in like jailhouse attire when we saw her head and face all swollen. They're saying it's another fight that happened prior to her getting arrested for the murder, rape of Mahogany Jackson. All right, so Mahogany's neighbor went on to have a interview with someone on YouTube, and what she said was she loved Mahogany, and Mahogany was the type of person that will cuss you out and then will tell you you're sorry. They said she said she did it on a regular basis, but what she did say she regret was the fact that she wanted to protect her children. Once you know that Mahogany always came to her house, hung out at her house, talked, laughed. But once Mahogany continued to hang with this bad crew, she basically stopped answering her door for Mahogany. She stopped answering her text messages and her phone calls from Mahogany. She said at one time she would always go to the store for Mahogany, get groceries, this and that. And they were so helpful and they were friends. And she said her feelings are hurt because she basically stopped connecting with Mahogany and answering her door because she had young kids in her house and she wanted to protect them. And she didn't want to ever think that Mahogany would bring, heat to her house because she was hanging out with the wrong crew. And that's sad. That's sad on a lot. Like as a mother, if I put my daughter out and 3 days later she's murdered, how am I supposed to feel? How am I supposed to feel? This is the same daughter that's been turning my house upside down, allegedly. This is the same daughter that's been fighting me, allegedly. The same daughter I had to put out my house because it was just too much. And not only that, I'm taking care of her daughter. You don't take care of your daughter. I do. I put you out because I need some sanity. I need some peace in my household. But 3 days later, you go on and you are now murdered. She's hurting. And it's sad because when do we live in peace? When do we live in harmony? When are these young people that's on all this lean, allegedly Mahogany was on lean and she was on this and that. When do these young folks stop making so much turmoil in our life? Parents, I mean. And I'm not talking about the parents that are out there doing drugs and doing this and that. I'm talking about the parents that's actually trying to work and we care. We have a household and we trying to allow you to grow up in it and we care. I work every day. I feed you. I clothe you. I'm trying to work with you. I got your baby. I'm the grandmother. I'm doing my best. When do our kids just respect the household and make life easy so that we can grow and learn from each other and hopefully grow in harmony? It's always going to be some issues. Everything ain't going to be peaches and cream. Every day ain't going to be good and bad. But at least we can cohabitate. We can live together. We can communicate at times. We can eat together, break bread together. We can really kumbaya as a family, even if it's on a lower scale. But I'm not gonna lie, this generation is making it very, very hard. This generation likes video games. They don't want to work. They don't want to clean. Sometimes this generation don't even want to bathe. They will sit in that room and play games all day. And then there's this other generation now that's choosing fentanyl, and they're choosing pills and all this interesting stuff, and they're choosing to gang bang, and they're choosing to do all these different things instead of respect mom. It's like they're putting friends before mom. I don't know why when we start hanging out with friends, we get a girlfriend, we get a boyfriend, we get a crew. I don't know why they feel as though mom no longer come first. I want to be cool with the crew. I want to do what the crew do. The crew doing drugs. Okay, I'm gonna do drugs. Even though my mom say don't do drugs, I still want to do drugs, right? No morals, no values. They rather be followers than leaders. And that's why I go back to, we have to basically raise more leaders. We have to let our children know. I tell you this because it's not conducive to your health. It'll be detrimental. And I tell you this because there's going to be a lot of people that want you to follow them. There's going to be a lot of people that want you to follow them and do the bad thing. If we can really, really, really embed in their heads that doing the bad thing will get you in jail, doing the bad things may get you turned down on drugs, doing the bad things and the wrong things may get you fighting me and disrespecting me, doing the bad and wrong things may get you put out my house. But see, I'm just giving an example on the mothers that are helping. So that's my example. I'm giving an example on the mothers that actually care. That's why I separated, not the moms that don't care, not the moms that put a man first, not the moms that are on drugs, not the moms that are out there doing the damn most, not the moms that are not setting an example for their children. I'm just talking about specifically the mother that's trying. And I'm using this example only because Mahogany's mother seemed like a mom that tried. She worked, she had a house, she takes care of Mahogany's child, and seems like to me she was trying. Okay, my mother did a great damn job, even though I had to experience life. Superfly, I'm glad you're here today, and I'm glad you're able to acknowledge that your mom did a very good job. But this lady has lost her child due to violence. And it's so funny, as parents, when we are trying, we see things. We see things that our children don't see. We're going to warn you before the storm. We already see it coming. Please don't do this. Don't do this. Don't talk to that person. Stay away from that person. But for some reason, kids like to experiment. I don't know what it is about this thing that children have to prove something to their peers, but it's been that way since the test of time. Very rebellious because of peer pressure. The young people that they hang around, the peer pressure is real. That's why mothers need to take up a lot of time with their children. You got to be involved. If it's a movie date, do that. If it's a dance, do that. If it's something you got to chaperone your daughter or your son, do that. Be more involved. Although let them have their friends, absolutely, right? But we have to be more involved as well. And this will even let these kids that they're running around with know, like, I can't pull that on Pookie. Pookie mama be always around. Pookie mama always in our business. So we can't really use Pookie like that and manipulate Pookie because Pookie mama going to be on top of it. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Peer pressure will lead your child or your youth down to criminal activities. Peer pressure is real. Okay? But getting back to the story. Mahogany is seen on video being slapped, kicked, stripped naked, handcuffed, spit on. The sexual assault started with them forcing her mouth on others' genitals, girls and boys, holding her head, slapping her across the face, saying it don't feel good, do it better, stop crying, hitting her in the back of the head, saying, hurry up, because I'm next. After that, several people got their turn. She was stripped naked, again handcuffed, and these people got their turn having sex with her. vaginal, as well as in her anus. Several people. There were several guys in the house. It was at least 4. Jeremy was in there, Francis, Blair, and Brandon Pope. The 4 women, Tasia, Sanaya, Ariana, and Giovanni. 8 people were present. And they whooped her, kicked her, spat on her, handcuffed her, stripped her naked, put her mouth on every single, all kinds of body parts, forced her down on her knees, forced her down on her back, opened this, closed this. This girl pleaded for her life. She pleaded and she pleaded and she pleaded. And it didn't stop. From this apartment to the next apartment, drug her outside, beat her. Now, before it got very intense, at some point, Mahogany still had her cell phone. We'll get there. Mahogany still had her cell phone. Mahogany called her mother several times on a receipt that we saw, a Facebook receipt. And it looks like to me those calls were unanswered. Then there was a text from Mahogany at 7:46 a.m. in the morning. Mother, I'm being held against my will. Please call the police to Tasia's house in Serenity Apartments 3. Don't call my phone. Bring the police. Her mother, we don't know if she opened that message and saw it. We don't know if she ignored it. I don't know. But by the time cops were called and they made it there, Tasia had been long gone and already dead. I'm sorry. Not Tasia. Mahogany was already long gone and more than likely no longer living. They went to Tasia's house and questioned her. Where's Mahogany? She's not here. She said she was here. She's not here. The last time I saw Mahogany was at 2 a.m. in the morning. Right, Bunny? If she saw it and ignored it, it's going to haunt her. So they questioned Tasia. And at the same time, while they're questioning Tasia, there's a young man that's going to the police. His name is Adarius. Now, let's talk about the part that Adarius played. Thank you so much, Tara. Let's talk about the part that Adarius played in this case. Allegedly, while they were beating her and sodomizing and whooping her, she's in the nude, she has on handcuffs, dragging her outside. Before they put her under that mattress, they contact this young man that was supposed to go out to a party that night. And let me add, Ariana, which was the 8th person that was arrested. After the murder and the rape, allegedly she did go out to the club to party that night. Okay? Now, they text Adarius, Tasia, and basically it's telling him like, look what we're doing, look what we did. And Adarius like, there's the dead man's dump site. You can take that over there. Even though he did have that text message conversation or that conversation with Tasia, at some point he called 911 and escorted them to Mahogany's body at an illegal dump site under 2 mattresses. Beat, brutalized, beaten, face, body, bruised, beat, raped, and not alive. Now, from what we understand right now, Adarius was not present, and Adarius has not been charged or arrested. But from what we gather, there were several people that got FaceTime calls and text messages. And he's the one that actually called police and showed police where that girl's body was. That was a very long night for that young lady. It's savage, especially for young kids. Like, why would you, how do young people think that way? How do we think that way? We're going to pistol whip you. We're going to strip you down naked. We're going to put handcuffs on you. We're going to make you put your mouth on everybody that wants your mouth on them. Then we're going to sexually assault you and rape you and sodomize you. And everyone just sitting there watching and going on with it. And instead of someone saying, stop, 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 everybody's still hype. Everybody's still turned up. Someone please help real 404 send me something to my IG EmpressParis _ and exactly, T Clocker. Not only did they sleep, when the police came to see Tasia denied seeing her. I saw her at 2 a.m. She was alive. Tasia denied seeing her getting beat and raped. She wasn't here. Last time I saw her was 2 a.m. She was alive. She left. You know what, love? See, I haven't seen none of the mothers yet mention anything, but I can say this. With all those kids, I think all the mothers had custody of their children. Now, Ariana lived with her mom. Sanaya was living at Tasia's place without her child. Tasia has 4 kids that she didn't have custody of. Frances has 1 daughter. Blair has a daughter. None of them lived with their mothers. I know, Stephanie. And then you know what's the hardest thing? They go to court. They're going to all these hearings. The video footage is right on the screen at the hearings. Videos, photos, and that mother's there. And everyone is holding her hands and getting her through it. It's hard. Something going on, T Clocker. Even if either it's a lack of parenting or these kids are bored because there's no creativity. And instead of them choosing academics at school, they're choosing to be peer pressure and gangbang. Because remember, when we spoke to Blue said Tasia's the ring leader. If you hang out with Tasia, more than likely the day gonna end up with a fight or a shootout. That's what we were told by Blue. If you hang with Tasia, more than likely it's gonna pop off. Tasia got 4 kids, and one of them allegedly is deceased. Absolutely. So a lot of us don't understand the type of pain this young lady went through because nobody's never beat me across my head with a gun. Nobody's never pistol whipped me. Absolutely. If you lay down with Fluffy, you would get up with fleas. Talk about it. I've never been pistol whipped. I've never been gun whipped and all of that. I've never been slapped by multiple women and men, just slapped and punched and kicked and beat down in my back and spat on and just kicked and snatched all my clothes being snatched in the nude in front of everybody can see while people are laughing and torturing me and put handcuffs and dragging me by my hair across the street and kicking me in my face, standing on my back, making me put my mouth on all these men and all these women, making me and holding my head down, suffocating me, sexually assaulting me in every hole known to mankind, and continuously kicking me and dragging me in the cold, nude. I'm by myself. 8 people are having their way with me. So I can get chills from thinking about it. I can get sad from thinking about it. I can even share a tear. But none of us can never say we've experienced and we can't relate. We can only hope and pray it don't happen to us or our children. And we can only say, God rest her soul and God keep her mother comfortable. And hopefully that this little girl don't get to experience or even see these things that took place with her mother on news outlets. If it was 9 person, we're going to open it up. If a 9th person has been arrested, then we'll open it up. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So Real is telling us now that we do have breaking news that there was a 9th person involved. I'm going to see what she's sending to me. I don't see what you sent me, Real, yet. No, you haven't sent me nothing on IG. I haven't gotten anything on the last, no. So if y'all gonna send something, just send it, please. Yes, they have each other, they fight each other, then make up. Super sad. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I left the house and stayed at my friend's house only for this to happen. And that girl stayed there mentally. She stayed in control and she asked them, let me leave, please. You've done this to me. You've done that to me. Y'all let me go. There's a video when I saw Tasia just beating her and beating her. That girl was just lying there. It's sad when you're just tired, when you've been brutalized and beaten so much and now you are just tired. Okay? That many sick people in one room is scary. Scary. And none of them have your best interests at heart. None of them. They're all laughing at you. They're all taunting you. They're all terrorizing you. They're all sodomizing you. They're all there against you. And the fact that all you got is your mama and your mama ain't there, your sister ain't there, you right there by yourself. They all recorded it. Everyone that was there turned on their phones and started recording at some point. There are so many pieces of this rape and murder and sodomy and beating that's recorded. So many videos that's out there present. So many. And that's what the prosecutors and the judge and that they had to go on from the hearing. Okay. I'm trying to accept it. So that's what they have to go on. It's not even showing up. EmpressParis _ I think you're sending it to the wrong IG. So based on what Real Teens is trying to send us, Real Teens is saying that there was a 9th person arrested. And I'm willing to go ahead and look that up and see can we get any facts out of that because we haven't. Real Teens this. Okay, everyone. So how's everyone feeling about all of this? There's a lot. I know there's a lot of feelings and emotion in the room. A lot of emotions in the room. It was definitely emotional when we first started cracking into this case. A lot of things took place, a lot. No one even mentioned her car. I'm assuming Mahogany had a car. No one mentioned whether or not her car was still present. Did they steal her car? Did they keep her car? Did they take her car? None of that was present. There's so many loopholes and so many openings and gray areas in this case. And I'm still finding things out as I go. We're still finding things out as we go. So we're on the case. We're going to stay on the case. We're going to follow the case through. A lot of rabbit holes they're sending us down. We're going to follow it. Blue said she took an Uber in your interview. You did? Oh, she took an Uber there. Okay. Because it was alleged that she did have a car. So she took an Uber. Thank you, Bariana. So again, y'all, this case hit home for a lot of us. A lot of us have little nieces. A lot of us have cousins. A lot of us have nephews that are 20 years old. Some of them on the straight and narrow, but some of them, we looking at them like, young lady, we need you to focus. Young man, we need you to focus. We don't want you to go left because you're not listening and being obedient. This can go left. Okay. And then some of us have 25 and 26 and 24-year-old nieces and nephews and sisters and brothers that we know living their life. They going out, they coming in, and they living that lifestyle. And that lifestyle can lead you to a new life, to where you feel as though, I don't want this for myself anymore. I don't want this for my kids. I'm going to fix myself and straighten up. And now you got the opportunity to fix yourself, straighten up, and now you can live better. Because when you act good, you live good. When you do good, you live good, right? But then you still have these young folks that's doing the most, living that life, and they don't have any goals or any type of plan to get out of it. The life is the life, and that's what they're standing on. The streets is what's raising them. The streets are raising them. Their gang banging family is what's raising them. And you as a mom, sometimes you can't compete, baby. You can't compete. When these kids fall in love with the streets, a mama can't compete all the time. Trust me. Okay? All right, so what we heard, I heard this the other day about Francis's father. I did see portion of this the other day. Someone did show me about Francis' father. One of the suspects had his father visit the crime scene. Did dad take advantage of the opportunity to do something strange to Mahogany as well? So that's still out. That'll be, if that's dad, because it looks like him. It looks like Francis's dad was present. It looked like an older gentleman was present. If that is true, then that father needs to be dealt with immediately. Yeah, I did see where he was present in a video the other day that OG Murder had shown me. And that's sad. And yeah, he needs to be, yeah. If dad was present, then he needs to be charged as well. You're a grown man, a grown-ass man, and you see your damn son and all these people doing the most of this child. What part were you there for, Dad? When did you leave? Did you stay? And that's going to be the question. I know you were there for the fights because Ariana is standing next to you, so you were there when they started fighting. Did you stay? That's going to be the question. You get your money anyway, you can. So that's going to be the question. Was that man still present? So we're still on Mahogany Jackson case, you guys. I haven't let up from it. And not only are we still covering her case, we're going to also continue to cover the Crocity brand murderer that took that 11-year-old child from us. Took that 11-year-old child from us on Wednesday of last week on the 13th in Chicago. So we have a lot of work to do, a lot of things to unravel, okay? And I'm paying attention to everything. But to end this, it does look like Francis' father was present. Thank you, Real 404, for reminding me of that. And if that old man was present, he gonna have some problems on his hands. I don't even know why Francis' dad would even be there with a group of young kids hanging out. That's disgusting. So we have to encourage young people to go to college and get a degree. And if they don't get a good career, just job right. Yeah, even if you don't go to college, just do the right thing. After you graduate, get a job and just help mom around the house and save your money. But I am confused, Melanin Magic, on why is he there? Why is that man there? We're going to have to dig into Ace's dad. Thank you, Real 44, for bringing it up to me again. We're going to have to go ahead and dig into Ace's dad, Mr. Francis Harris, and we're going to have to really, really see what part he played and where was he and why was he there? So the dad has been arrested and charged. Okay, thanks for the update. Thanks for the breaking news. Now, but listen, this is a show that BIGO is allowing me to do. It's a breaking news segment, which I'll be doing an hour every single day. So I appreciate you guys for coming through and supporting me. We're going to really talk about a lot of things that matter in our community. And I'm glad I have you guys here to support me. And the room is lit. It looks great in here. And BIGO is really just throwing a lot of traffic my way. And I appreciate this opportunity as well. There's several hosts that's getting this opportunity, and I just so happen to be blessed, and I'm one of them. So congratulations to me, and I accept that, Bariana, and everybody else. And I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to be the EmpressParis that you guys know and love. We're still going to be talking about things that matter. When you come in my room, it's going to be things that we can digest, things that can uplift us, and things that we need to know. All right. So I appreciate, yes, congratulations. And thank you for BIGO for the opportunity. So again, thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you. Thank you. It's unwavering support. I love my female and male supporters, and I'm here for y'all. And I'll be bringing you guys the details, the facts only. And we're going to probably have another conversation with Blue as well. So get ready for another exclusive interview with Blue. Okay. All right. So thank you guys. You deserve it all. So do you. I deserve you guys. You deserve me. All right. So if you enjoyed this content, follow me.